most famous physical therapist on the internet.
We had to wake up our cameraman. We were taking so long. Yeah. By the way, hi, I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Handheld, physical therapist.
Together we're the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course, Bob.
Today we're going to talk about 5 bad habits that are killing your joints and what to do instead.
You don't even think about a lot of these things.
No, we have a lot of experience with this because we're old and we're starting to kill our joints. But by the way, if you're new to our channel, please take a second to subscribe to us. We provide videos how to stay healthy, fit, pain-free, and we upload every day. Also, go to bobandbrad.com. Are we giving away the massager?
The massager?
Yeah, handheld massager. We're giving one of these away. Beautiful massager. Yes. Great for somebody if you have hard-to-reach spots.
Right.
It's got a nice handle on it.
Yep, and it's great for those people that the seniors will love this.
Yeah,
it's not real aggressive.
And it's inexpensive.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. You can also find, it'll be on the Bob and Brad giveaway section. Go to the Facebook. It'll be also pinned to the page, top of the page, the Facebook. You can also go to Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok for a 60-second version of our program. And as you maybe know already because you're listening to us, we're on podcast now.
Did you get one of these for your mother-in-law yet?
I got one from my mother years ago.
Oh.
But
it'd just be a gift, one of those things.
I bought my mother-in-law a Valentine.
Oh, good.
So I scored some points there.
You go.
All right. So number 1, you're going to avoid wearing high heels. I mean, you can wear it for special events, Brad.
Yeah.
You can wear them on special events, but don't be wearing them every day.
Right. Because, it's really hard on those metatarsals, that weight going down to bunions. And
they can call bunions, hammer toes. The weight is tipped forward and you're getting more weight on your toes.
Right. Yeah.
So it's just not good. It's there's no way about it.
They look good, though.
They look good.
And some women, they look really good. Anyways.
What does that mean?
I'm just saying, it's a fashion statement.
All right.
That's why you wear them.
Number 2, too much texting, especially we're talking about stress on the CMC joint. Brad actually did a video on that.
Yep.
Carpal metacarpal joint. Right here, it's being very active when you're texting.
It can be confused with wrist pain.
Right.
People think it's the wrist, and it actually is their thumb, the base of their thumb.
Pretty easy to fire that up, and then in that case, one, you're gonna maybe do more of the texting through audio, right?
Yeah.
Or you can also get a brace for your.
Yeah.
So
there's some nice massages. We got a video on that too. Just put it out.
Yeah. Number 3, sleep on your stomach. That's a bad habit. What's it doing is you're putting your head all the way to the left or all the way to the right, which is putting your neck at end range, the joints. As a rule of thumb, our joints don't like to be at end range.
For any length of time.
For any length of time, right. And that, a closed pack or open, it really doesn't like it. So, number 4, you're not stretching enough. This is what Brad and I probably see. The number 1 thing that you can do to improve your joint pain is to stretch that joint, the muscle above it and the muscles below it.
Right.
And if you're not stretching enough, we got a million videos on this. So whatever the problem you have, if you have knee pain, we show you how to stretch your knee so that you can decrease that pain levels.
And, for this stretching, you do want to go to end range, but we're not going to hold it there real long.
Right.
But, there is an exception there.
The exception. Yeah, you don't want to have it for a half hour.
No, we're just doing some short stretches. End range is good for it.
Yep. All right, number 5, not getting enough sleep. Now, people wouldn't think that it had anything to do with your joints, but they actually did a study, Brad, and people, if they felt like they had a restless night, their arthritis felt worse. The joints felt worse. The question is, they don't really know. They might be triggers inflammation when you don't sleep well.
Sure.
So sleeping is always really important. Number 6, if you want another reason to stop smoking, this is it. Blood flow to the bones and also the discs, which are between the bones, is decreased with smoking. It limits the calcium the body can take in. So lots of bad things. I always like to tell the story, Brad. I had a lady that worked for me, and her nephew actually cut off one of his fingers at a sawmill.
What's it got to do with?
Because he was only 17 or something like that at the time,
sure.
And they had trouble reattaching it because his arteries were so bad because he was a smoker.
Oh, the smoking. Yeah.
So just to throw a little fear in you. Number 7, you're not strengthening enough. Same thing as with the stretching. If you don't keep the muscles around the joint strong, the joint itself has to take more weight bearing, and you're going to also, the other thing that happens, Brad, is Wolf's Law, right? When you strengthen, the bone actually reacts and thickens on you.
Right. That's how you prevent osteoporosis.
Right. So, strengthening exercises are a big part of osteoporosis prevention. We're going to actually, on our podcast, we're having someone this coming Friday. It won't be aired this Friday, but it'll be soon after.
I just wanted to mention, when you do strengthen, it's typically moderate weights. You're not doing these max heavy weights.
Yeah.
For younger people, you can get away with that, but especially if you haven't lifted weights, moderate weights, good for the joints, good for that bone growth, but we don't want to overdo it.
All right, number 8, this is probably the most obvious statement I want to make today, is that if you're overweight, that's going to put more stress on your joints. So you all know that, and I guess it's another reminder.
That's a challenging one.
Yeah, it is.
It's like stop smoking if you've done that for a while. But, there's ways to get back, and we have videos on that, and there's a lot of information to help you out, and good friends and family.
Yep. Number 9, if you're carrying a bag, especially like I carry a bag for my, paperwork and stuff, and I always carry it on the same side. I know you're not supposed to do that, but you carry the bag on the same side. It's stressing the joints on one side.
Yeah.
If you're, if you don't have a roller for when you go on vacation, you're going on vacation, Brad.
Yeah.
Do you have a roller suitcase?
No, my wife carries them.
Yeah.
No, we
it's
roll
like he
them.
loads up a pack mule there, and
she is strong, Bob.
Yeah, well, good. They handle you.
I hope she doesn't see this video.
Yeah. Number 10, poor back posture. That just really puts pressure on the joints. If you have that rounded out posture, you want to stack the bones like they've been, you were born to, like they were made to have a S curve in your back.
Yeah, everything is designed in our body exceptionally well
to be the strongest.
As long as we use it properly.
Yeah. Number 11, Brad, you're going to talk about this.
If you're using hand tools, for those of you who work in the trades or at home, garden tools, but particularly tools that vibrate, sanders, that kind of thing, or if you're using tools where you're putting a lot of stress temporarily, and if you have arthritis, you know what we're talking about, because you'll get done with a task, and especially those finger joints and wrist joints, they just ache afterwards. You're beating those joints up, so do something. If you can not do it as long, have someone else do it, because you want to keep those joints and make them last.
I felt what helped me, Brad, is I have a weed trimmer that I actually push.
Sure,
but it really vibrates.
On it.
Yeah, it really vibrates, and I did get one of those gloves. That seems to
got the cushion in it.
Yeah, got the cushion in there. It seems to make a big difference.
Yeah. They come up with a lot of good ergonomic gloves, tools, shapes, and things like that.
Answers,
it's worth paying a little extra to have a better grip if you're looking at that.
Okay, number 12, being on the computer too much. If you're watching Bob and Brad, that's fine. You can also put us on TV.
Absolutely, you just keep watching.
Yeah, but otherwise, you especially if you have poor posture, you can be increased stress on your elbows, your wrists, your back, your shoulders, everything. You got to have it aligned correctly, and we have videos on that for you.
Right, just Google Bob and Brad posture with computer, and we'll show you all the ins and outs.
Pop right up. Number 13, if you got poor form throughout the day, I'm going to give a couple examples, Brad. There's people who stand on one leg. They stand. I'm sorry for those on the podcast, but if you picture a woman maybe with a baby on her hip.
What about a guy?
Well, yeah, but women seem to do it because they have better hips,
Sure.
So they can rest that baby on the hip, but then they're putting stress all on one side.
Yeah.
So you want to even it out.
It's one of those things that's a habit. If you're right-handed, like I was carrying my granddaughter yesterday.
Sure.
She's a year and a half. And I'm like this. I don't even think about it. It's like, I'm not going to carry their left hand unless I actually cognizant say.
You'd probably drop her.
Well, it's possible.
I mean, you know what I mean?
I did have my daughter when she was a year old in on the left side, and I was at 5 o'clock in the morning. I was falling asleep, and I almost did drop.
Oh, geez.
But I caught her.
You caught her.
Wow. Yeah, I could probably tell her that now. She's 24 now.
Awesome. she made it through the Brad years. So you can also be sitting wrong. You could, that's the one I like to do.
Let me give you an example.
That's a good example.
If you got a habit of doing this when you're younger and you keep doing it when you're older, You'll probably
Yeah.
pay the price at the hip, the knee, the ankle, or the hip sooner or later.
Chains of
Yep.
habit.
Yep.
They form, and they're hard to break them.
Say no more, Bob.
But I have to think of it every time, Brad. When I don't know why, when I eat at our island,
Yeah.
I want to lean forward. I want to lean on one side. I don't know why, but I have to consciously, sit up straight.
I just remembered, Bob, for the people on the podcast, they couldn't see what I was doing.
No, they couldn't.
I was sitting on my ankle. You bend your knee all the way and put it on the chair, and then you sit on your ankle. If I don't know, I never did this. It's not comfortable. I can't imagine why, but
A
I've
lot
seen,
of people do
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yep. All right, number 14, just simply not moving enough. Joints love movement, even arthritic joints.
Right.
If the arthritis is too far along.
Right.
But one thing that we suggest, like if you're sitting, just every so often, you're going to bend and straighten your knees.
Yep.
And back and forth. Let them swing back and forth. That lubricates the joint.
Yep.
And
Ankle pumps,
ankle pumps,
knee kicks, marching, all these things
marching,
you can do
yep.
seated,
And it doesn't take much. It gets that synovial fluid moving, which is kind of like the lubrication oil.
Yep, exactly.
And you're going to be in like Jake. So that's an old scene. Number 15, the final one. Want to avoid, especially if you're having arthritis in the hands, you want to avoid using the smaller joints whenever possible. So like if you have a coffee cup, and again, I apologize for people on the podcast, but if you're grabbing the handle, you're using the small joints of the hand. You actually do want to grab it with the palm like this and drink it like this.
Sure.
It warms up your hands then too.
Right. In the wintertime, you can't, it's a pleasure.
This is the same with like picking up a box. It's better to do with your palms instead of the fingers. And even opening a jar, Brad, you want to, rather than going like this, if you can, you want to use your palm.
Sure.
And go like that.
You can get those sticky pads
Right.
on there. That makes a big difference. For the coffee cup, here's the easy fix, Bob. You go into pull out your drawer with the little hammer in it, and you you just break that right off. And then you don't do that. Then you have to grab it like this.
There you go.
Or you buy one without a handle.
What a genius.
I'm just saying,
All right. More great ideas from Brad Heineck.
Well, and it's cheap. It doesn't
Oh, yeah.
cost you anymore.
All right. Thanks everybody for watching.